now we are. Okay. Here we go. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, here's a little video about, it's quick, about Media Fellows Scholarships.
We're excited to be able to offer you a scholarship to help pay for your school in need.
That's awesome. Yes.
We're thrilled and excited to share this good news with you.
Thank you. We're just grateful that you applied, and we're really moved by your story.
I'm so taken back. Thank you so much.
So this will definitely help ensure that I get to stay next semester at Denison University. So I'm really excited.
Are you still working 35 hours a week?
I sure am. It's going to probably help me work a little less and focus more on school.
I really appreciate that. I feel like very thankful for getting this award.
Getting this recognition pushes me so much harder too, just knowing that like people do care and people will help you if you show them you want to succeed in life.
Yeah, so over the past 10 years, we've given over $1 million in support to students, to hundreds of students in colleges and universities across the country. Let me tell you a little bit more about Media Fellows, because we have a deadline coming up soon. So Media Fellows scholarships are essay-based scholarships. They are typically awarded on two top criteria, and they are content fit. Do you fit within the areas that we care about, which are the nexus of advertising and policy? You don't have to have both. You can be heavy on advertising, you can be heavy on policy, and as far as advertising is concerned, it actually is more the full scope of communication and marketing, being in the business of dealing with media and campaigns. So those are the two major qualifications, that and high financial need. So as people are preparing their applications for Media Fellow scholarships, that's what you should really pump up, is that you are a good fit. You are planning to go into the fields of media and or policy, both. You should also share your financial needs story. We, received more applications over the summer than we ever have before because of COVID. And so it is competitive, but I have never had someone who's applied twice that didn't eventually get one, because we really know that this scholarship helps people in great need. The next due date is the 16th of November. You can apply on our website, which I don't know if you've had the opportunity to take a look, but I can quickly show you where on the website it is. Hang on. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. So to get to the Media Fellow Scholarship application, you click here, and the application is right here. It really only requires 3 things. That is a current resume, an essay. It can be brief, somewhere between 250 to 500 words, that details what your academic and career goals are, as well as your financial needs. And then a letter of recommendation from an academic advisor or from a professor. So pretty straightforward. And then once we get to the stage of, choosing finalists for the Media Fellow Scholarship, we do a 10-minute phone call just to, talk through and really get to know the student a little bit. Let me go back to the presentation. If you're not already following us on social media, please do, because you can see the stories of other students that are just like you. We share testimonials of them. This is some of the most recent awardees. I believe we had a student from Elon last semester that received a scholarship, but I'm not positive. I know we have in the past. So upcoming key dates for the spring semester, the Media Fellow Scholarships are due on the 16th of November. Please, if you're interested, get it in. We're not seeing the type of volume that we were this summer, which means the odds for getting one is much higher. And then, so they're always both in November and in July, mid-month. We try to have them on the same date for the deadline so that they're easy to remember. And that's pretty much Media Fellows in a nutshell. One of the other benefits of Media Fellows is that, first of all, it's prestigious and students get to put it on their resume and they get the scholarship itself. But we also let Media Fellows scholarship winners know that if there are any folks, any of our sponsors, any media companies that they're interested in, and even on the policy side, any members of Congress or members of the Senate that they are interested in meeting with, if we have those relationships, we will open the door for the student to walk through. So that's also, something that is a plus. We really think that a lot of getting jobs and accessing opportunities is really, having that door opened, not necessarily anything that happens after that is up to us. That's up to the student. But what we find is that our students are really entrepreneurial and seeking opportunities like that.
Awesome.
Our other program is the Media Scholars Program, and we have the Media Plan Case Competition. And Elizabeth can tell you a little bit more about her experience, but I'm going to just show you a quick video about it quickly.
Network, learn, compete. Media Scholars finalists receive an all-expense-paid trip to Washington, D.C., where they can see behind the scenes of some of the top companies in the country. Learn more today at mediascholars.org.
So it's a really unique program in that it's a multi-round competition.
Students,
Whoa,
like
hey,
you,
hold on.
You have not thought about entering the case
sorry.
competition with Washington Media Scholars. You
Hang
are
on.
crazy.
This is an experience of a lifetime.
This is something you wouldn't get anywhere else. It's basically my dream. I love this program.
On autoplay.
Sorry, yeah, I did.
All good.
It was the other video that we have about the program, so it wasn't all bad that it was there. Oh, it looks like there's someone in the waiting room. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So Media Scholars. So we call Media Fellows Scholarship Media Fellows, and then the case competition we refer to as Media Scholars. So the Media Plan Case Competition is really sort of our most prestigious program. It is a multi-round national competition where student teams of 2 compete for scholarships, but also the opportunity to come to Washington, D.C. and spend a week in professional development seminars, as well as meeting media executives from some of the top media companies in the country, and competing for a panel of industry expert judges who are really invested in the success of the students. Ultimately, it's 6 teams that end up coming to DC. Last year, of course, was a unique year. We had to go virtual. We are hopeful that this year may be different. And we are proceeding with the competition as planned. The qualifying round of the competition has already begun. It ends in February of 2021. The whole competition is based around student teams building a media plan based on a fictitious issue case. So this year it is around a city that is proposing legislation that has to do with the environment and energy. And students in the qualifying round need to answer just a few questions based on the data that's provided to them and the scenario that's provided to them. From there, those students that progress go to the semifinal round where they actually prepare a full plan on a larger extension of the case. So a more thorough explanation of what's going on in this particular case, using real world data that is provided by experts in media. And they provide a case sort of solving to the problem that's put before them. So from the semifinal round, we whittle the student teams down to 6 teams that will then come to Washington, D.C. I think I might have another person in the waiting room. Hold on. Okay. And welcome to the folks who were able to join. I'm sorry that we kept progressing, but I'm happy to take questions at the end. So in order to see the qualifying round, you need to go to mediascholars.org/mediascholars. I can show you that as well. Let me just, actually, no, I can't. I will show it to you maybe in a break when Elizabeth is leading. Some key dates for the case competition. Again, it's a multi-round national competition. It's not only something that is prestigious in terms of putting that another line on your resume, it is prestigious in the sense that you're getting access to media executives who want to hire you. The program has earned a reputation of having students that are the best and brightest young talent for media and policy. And so some of the exposure that you get would be really hard to get anywhere else, where you're, firsthand looking in the eye, meeting with executives who are looking at you to see, maybe can you come and join their teams. We've had many success stories of students who have gone on to have careers at some of the companies that they've met, or first jobs or internships. From companies, we'll share a sampling of them. So these are the key dates. I guess I'll move on and share just a little bit more about the case competition. Student teams can win 3 prizes. So the winning team, each member of the winning team, again, there are teams of 2, they win $5,000 each, scholarships. If you are a graduated senior at the time of the case competition and you happen to win, the check goes to you. If you are still enrolled in school, the check goes to your school costs, whether it's tuition, whether it's room and board, whether it's equipment fees, what have you. Runners up, $3,000 each. So that's the second place team out of 6 teams. And then finally, we have the Mia Guyan Memorial Scholarship. That is to the student who has the qualities that Mia Guyan, who was a winner in 2017, who tragically passed. We established a memorial scholarship in her honor. Her superpower was presentation. So we look for the individual student who has the strongest presentation skills, and we award it to that student. So those are the opportunities for a scholarship with the competition. Elizabeth, you want to take it from here on Media Scholars Week?
For sure. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about the student experience of Media Scholar Week. Do you want me to go ahead and share screen?
There you go. I got it for you.
Okay, awesome. Thanks. So while you're there, you're primarily worrying about your preparation for your final presentation at the very end of that week. But while you're there during the day, you get to go on a lot of different tours of different studios and newsrooms, different just office tours. So while I was there, got to visit the offices at Google, We got to go and see the Washington Post newsroom, a NBC affiliate newsroom, and you get to talk to a lot of great sponsors who are really knowledgeable about their fields. And you get to make those connections and start building your network of professional connections, which is a huge leg up when you're starting to look for a job, your future career, and pursue that. But along the way, you also have access to a lot of helpful tools. So you get to participate in a photo shoot. You get a headshot for your LinkedIn page, which is really a perk that even at colleges, you don't always get that. So it's nice to have something that's professional. You also learn etiquette skills, how to interact with other business professionals. And then you even get to participate in a job shadow. So that was definitely one of the highlights of my week. So I got to job shadow at Cox Reps while I was there, and they are media planning, sales, dealing with cable. And I got to learn a lot about the industry firsthand from the person that I was shadowing directly, and got to ask a lot of great questions. They got to know me and we exchanged information. And then you have your final presentation at the end of Media Scholars Week. So you'll sit in front of a panel of about 6 judges and give them your final media plan presentation, which is always, it's really exciting, the atmosphere around it. Kind of get pumped up for it like you would for like a sports game. At least I did. I don't know. I was really excited about that. And then afterwards, you get to celebrate the work that you put into the competition, because truly you did, as a finalist, you win a trip to Washington, D.C., and it's fully paid. But you get to network with a lot of different media professionals at that reception, and just get your name out in front of executives that you wouldn't normally have access to. So there's a lot of great opportunities that happen within Media Scholars Week.
Yeah, I think too, something that is unique about Media Scholars Week is that we take care of all of your expenses. And when I say all of your expenses, you even get spending money for meals that we don't cover. We take you out everywhere. We put you on a bus and we go to, gosh, so many places, everywhere from Google to CNN to some years we do Twitter, Pandora, Sirius Radio. Gosh, I'm trying to think. When we took the students to NBC, they were able to go on the set of Meet the Press, Politico, Axios, and so on and so on. So, and in these meetings, it's not just the tour, it's actually a conversation about what can you do to prepare yourself to be ready to get a job. And so let me just show you a photo. These are the folks that were the teams last year. These guys were the winning team from Binghamton University. The runners-up were from Iowa State, like my friend Elizabeth on the call today. And this was a combo team. So combo teams are when students enter the competition as individuals and then get paired after the qualifying round. So if you don't have somebody that you want to, that you know you can make a team with, that's okay. Go ahead and register anyway. We'll pair you up. We have had combo teams win. We had one team from South Carolina and South Dakota who never met in person until they got to Washington, and they won the whole thing. This is the University of South Carolina, Temple University, and Notre Dame. So quite a showing. These are just a sampling of some of the companies that have sponsor us and that we go visit with. They are fantastic. I mean, and they love our students. They when they have openings, I get emails saying, is there anybody you'd recommend? Do you have any scholars that are looking for jobs? And that has been, really fun to see. I'm going to send you this video separately, but this is a video that recently came out. Demetra Carter got a Media Fellows Scholarship this past fall. And she is a student, gosh, I'm trying to remember where she went to school. Do you remember off the top of your head, Elizabeth?
Not off the top of my head. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, I want to say she went to school in North Carolina, but I might be making it up. Demetra got a scholarship, a Media Fellow Scholarship, and this year we gave our sponsors the opportunity to have named sponsorships and then form relationships with the student. Her scholarship came through Gray TV, and they actually came to her school and shot a package on her, and they have opened doors to her to consider coming to work there at one of their many affiliate offices. So that in a nutshell is Media Scholars, the case competition, as well as a little bit about Media Fellows. I want to go back for the folks who are who joined us a little late and just share again with Media Fellows some key dates. So upcoming is the 16th, which is the deadline for the next Media Fellow Scholarships, where you can get scholarships for school costs, things like books, tuition, room and board, equipment, fees, and so on. It's an essay-based scholarship. You need to meet the criteria of being a media or policy related major. And we tend to fund juniors and seniors more so than any lower classmen, the reason being that they are more sure of what they want to do. And we want to invest in people that join our field. So with that said, I think we have a couple of frequently asked questions that Elizabeth I was going to take you through. All right, so FAQ number 1, is there a format for letters of recommendation in the Media Fellows Scholarships application? There is not a format per se, and it is hard with COVID to get actual signatures, but if you can, or if you can get the letter sent or the email sent on letterhead, even if there's not an actual signature, that would be preferred. We do sometimes get Word documents. Those don't work, but if you can get it on letterhead, that'd be great. Signature we'll deal with later. FAQ number 2, if I plan to compete in the case competition, can I also apply for a Media Fellows Scholarship? Well, in fact, you can. Media Fellows Scholarships are one-time only scholarships. So once you get one, you can't get another one. However, you can compete in the case competition, and you can win and get that scholarship as well. We actually encourage people to do both programs because there are people who qualify for Media Fellows automatically qualify for the Media Scholars case competition. In fact, in the case competition, we've had people who weren't media, that didn't have a lot of experience in media. We've had physics majors before. We had a finance, one of the guys who won last year was a finance major who had a minor in marketing. So we'll leave it there. What about questions from you guys? Anything we can answer?
Well, I actually do have a question.
Great.
So I am definitely considering doing the media case competition.
Great.
I've been thinking about it for a while now and like working on some stuff. But I don't have anyone at my school that I, would like really want to partner with. Like there are a lot of great people, but I just don't really know how that would go for me. Like if I went into the case competition and then didn't know anyone, like who would be my partner. And I understand that like I would get partnered with someone, but I'm just a little worried about it, I guess,
Yeah, I mean, I get that 100%. It is always nice when you have a partner that you can, go and grab and talk to. But in the COVID era, I don't think that having a partner that, a combo team would be as unusual as it would in a normal year, right? Because you're not going to be able to, with your partner, if you had a regular partner, you wouldn't be able to have those impromptu meetings in the same way either. So some of that has normalized what would be weird about, having a combo team. What I can tell you about students that apply for or that participate in Media Scholars is that they're very driven and ambitious. So I don't think you would get a partner that you would feel like didn't have hustle or wasn't really on top of their game. People who want to do this kind of thing, they're kind of they're just different kind of students. So I hope that helps. The other thing I would say is that we had a combo team your year too, Elizabeth. Elizabeth was a 2019 finalist. We had a combo team. We have one almost every year make the finals.
Okay, well, good. That's good to know.
Like the past 3 years, we've had a combo team.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes me feel a lot better about it, because that is kind of one of the things is like, you know, not knowing who you would get paired with, like, would y'all be able to have just as much effort put in? But that makes me feel a lot better knowing that most likely we would.
I don't know if you were on the call when I mentioned that the 2018 team that won was a combo team from South Dakota and South Carolina.
Okay.
Who never met until they got to Washington.
Oh, yes, okay.
And they won the whole doggone thing. And both of them ended up moving to Washington to take jobs that they got through the program.
That's awesome.
And they're amazing. And if you would be interested in talking to them, I'd be more than happy to put you in touch.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. For
Thank
sure.
you.
And Elizabeth, I know, would be willing to talk to you and any student that wanted to talk about the program, particularly. She's received both a Media Fellow Scholarship and she's a finalist, and she's our intern. I mean, like, she's going to take over. I better watch out. Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, I actually did have a question fast, but first of all, thank you all for doing this in the first place. Excited to learn. I really wasn't sure about the media scholars, and now I'm kind of more interested in that. Actually, I was originally just thinking about the fellow scholarship, and now I'm like, ooh, this is interesting.
Nice.
So for the fellow scholarship, what would you say helps set applicants apart, but also kind of that essay portion? What kind of things would you recommend for that? Just because I know it's 500 words and trying to fit a few different things in there. So what would be your advice for that?
Yeah. So one of the things that students forget to do is to tell that story of why they need a scholarship now from a financial perspective. And because with Media Fellows, we're not looking at, while we are interested in students that are pursuing advertising and the spectrum, right? Whether it's marketing, communication, PR, journalism, or policy, poli-sci, government, public policy. While we're interested that they fit in our content area, we do not award based on merit. So it's content fit. And it's great if you're an amazing student, but you don't have to be an amazing student to get a Media Fellow Scholarship. You just need to be interested in entering the field. What is really important is for us to understand that you really need this money, right? And so sometimes students talk so much about their passions and interests that they forget to say why they really need a scholarship. So that would be my advice, to make sure to include that, and don't get too hung up on the merit side of things. I mean, if you have those things to share, great, but just know that it's a mix. Does that help?
Yeah, that's absolutely helpful. Thank you. Yeah, I applied actually last for the July deadline, so I didn't know that, like, a lot of how to balance that. So that's really helpful.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Good. I see that Remy's on the line. I think Remy is from Ithaca. I'm not positive. But if you have any questions, now would be a great time.
Jack actually had my exact question, so thank you, Jack.
Oh, very good.
No problem.
All right,
Thank you so much also for doing this. I'm sorry, my camera's been broken all week, and I was late because I just got back from work, so I'm like kind of scattered right now.
No problem. No problem. We're happy to have you. Elizabeth, did I leave anything out before we sign off?
I think we covered it all. Thanks for coming to the meeting today and showing interest in the scholarship and the Scholars Case Competition by coming and getting on Zoom today.
For sure. And if you guys have any other questions before we go, we'll take them.
Cool. I just was a little confused because whenever you said that, basically it could be any students that are interested in media or public relations or anything like that, or policy. So I'm like PR, that's my thing, you know. So whenever I also applied in the last round. And so whenever I was like writing my essay, I was focusing on like why I wanted to be involved with public policy. But is there like a different, because it's about how they meet, you know, like how our major and like public policy meet. And so that's really what y'all want to also know, right? It's not like,
yeah, but you don't have to have both. I mean, it's great that you do, but we have students that are all policy and we have students that are all communication, marketing, advertising, and so on. You don't have to have both. And it's great that the two of you applied before and are coming back. It's very rare that students that do that don't receive, at least move to the finals. And the other thing that I would say is that the spring distribution typically has fewer applicants, so your chances of receiving a scholarship are higher in this round. So get your application in by November 16th. Are you both, what year are you?
I'm a senior.
I'm also a senior.
Also a senior. Fabulous. That's great. Yeah. So, I mean, you guys sound like you are our kind of students. So it was incredibly competitive this summer. So this summer's deadline had twice the amount of applications that we normally have, and we think that's in large part because of COVID. Yeah, but I'm not seeing that right now.
Well,
I'm seeing it keep pace with what we usually see for the spring distribution in terms of applications right now. That could change. I mean, we still have 2 weeks, but I feel good about it, and I'm really glad to meet you all. Any other questions?
I don't think so. I think you covered everything. Thank you again.
Awesome. You bet. Oh, and one other thing, sorry, Taylor, was that if you do become a finalist for a Media Fellows Scholarship, I do a 10-minute phone call with students just to get to know them a little better. Yeah. But that's it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Great.
All right, guys. Well, thank you all so much. It was a pleasure to meet you. I will send you some links after the call, and have an awesome weekend. Thanks for joining on a busy Friday.
Awesome. Thank you all.
Y'all have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Have a great